Hello, awakened beings. Welcome to this channel. Here I do tarot and oracle readings to support you along your spiritual journey. If that interests you, feel free to check out any other content on the channel as well as interact with this video as you feel called to. Today's reading is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The next 30 days, what can you expect? Tarot predictions, what challenges, blessings, what's going on. All right, so I'm tuning into the next 30 days for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's go. Okay, so fairy tale music just came in my mind. It kind of feels from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or some sort of fairy tale like that. But it's like these people just, I don't know. In fairy tale movies, they break out into song randomly. That's what it sounded like. Okay. Next 30 days. All right, and any blockage, please. Okay, let's tune in, Sag. All right. For some reason, I just felt like let's get jiggy with it. I don't know if that was me or like a side message for somebody, but okay. Anyways, we got Nine of Pentacles here. All right, so I definitely see you kind of focusing on your own garden, what you're nourishing, what you're growing. You're very tuned into yourself at this time within the next 30 days. We do have King of Swords, so you could be, rationalizing something, being very logical or logic focused. I feel like you're trying to get to the bottom of something or learn. Like King of Swords right now is coming up to me as like a scientist. That's not going to resonate with all of you, but it feels like somebody's trying to figure something out. Like I said, get to the bottom of something, get some information, testing, like, I don't know, something like that. Testing some sort of, it doesn't have to be like a literal formula, like, with chemicals and stuff, like, mixing drinks or something. It doesn't have to be like a literal formula or portion, but you could just be testing out maybe like reactions or consequences, or just seeing like, okay, well, if I do this or put this in my garden, if I try to grow this and do it this way, what's the outcome? So I just feel like you're just very rationalizing, logical, and trying to figure out something in particular for the next 30 days. Okay. We do have Nine of Swords here. So I would be mindful of like maybe overthinking. But I do also see that you'll get some clarity within the next 30 days. So whatever you're trying to figure out, get the recipe to, get the answer to, the outcome, whatever. I definitely feel like it just kind of feels like sunshine after a stormy weather type of situation. So, okay, I'm going to pause on that and tune into everything else. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, tell me why the other two fire signs got this card, you guys. So, I don't know. We got Ace of Pentacles for you. Let me go ahead and pull some Oracle. You got Recovery. I'm going to put that there for a minute. What else? I feel like you're feeling better after a hard time. You're feeling better after a hard time. You could be getting good news about something in particular with the Recovery card, but also I keep paying attention to the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like you're focused on, for some of you, you could be focused on your health and changing certain habits or trying new foods, trying a new, I guess medicinal thing is, I was trying to think of another word for it, but whatever. But yeah, it just seems like you could be focused on your health, which is, metaphorically your garden, your temple, right? So I do feel like, and maybe that has to do, I guess, for some of you, why you have this King of Swords, where you're just trying to figure out, I guess, like what is best for you. Okay. But you do have recovery here. Okay. What else with the Ace of Pentacles? But like I said, I felt like you were getting some sort of answer to your question, or, clarity around it. So that could also be what the recovery card is indicating, where you're just kind of getting, it's almost like you were trying to make a decision or figure out something before you fully took the next step, and then you get the answer, and so you're able to go ahead and to make a decision on something. And that decision involves, maybe planting another seed for something. So I don't know. For some of you, I feel like it has to do, like I said, with your health and habits and stuff. Okay. What else with this Ace of Pentacles? I do feel, so something just came to my mind, like a biker, like I mean, it could be like, a bike where you like can ride. I'm not wording this right. Like a regular bike where you pedal with your legs. But the way that it was shown to me was like a motorcycle type of bike. So I don't know if that has any type of significance to somebody. But yeah, I just saw a bike. Okay, and then we also have mindfulness here as Ace of Pentacles. So again, I was just talking about habits and things like that. So I feel like maybe you're incorporating more space for yourself for mindfulness, more time for a particular activity, like replacing a old habit with a new one, or maybe you're writing, maybe you're meditating, maybe you're going to a certain place for peace. But I just feel like for most of you here, you could be trying to change a particular habit, and you're exploring what is the right thing for you, I guess. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. We got Seven of Swords. Okay, clarity, truth. So yeah, I just feel like for some of you, you're getting you're coming into new information that's why you got King of Swords there. You're coming into some sort of information that I feel like, remember I said he was showing up as like a scientist? So here's the thing. Scientists, they test theories, right? Or they, they test things. So like you could say, hey, the world is round, and they will go collect blah 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 and then make a conclusion, right? So my point is, with the Seven of Swords, and I said that I felt like you're coming into new information. It's like you're coming into new information, but you're trying it out to see if it's actually true, or how it impacts you, or what's going on. You know what I mean? So for some of you, that's where that scientist energy was coming from, that I was picking up on, is because it's like you're not just taking what somebody's saying at, face value. You're like actually trying it and seeing like if it makes sense, or if it works for you or doesn't, things like that. So okay, I like that. Any blockage here? We've got Queen of Swords. Honestly, this could be another individual, but it also could be like you maybe second guessing yourself or being too hard on yourself. Let's also see what's going on with this blockage here. Clarify the Queen of Swords. I mostly feel like the Queen of Swords is showing up as another individual who could be maybe contradicting or not necessarily supportive of the things that you're wanting to try within the next 30 days. So I don't know. Let's see what's going on. I also feel like, okay, for those of you who are in a relationship or like have a friendship or something, it could be that you're wanting to share what you're learning or trying with another person, and they might not be open to it. And so that could be like a challenge or a block for you because you're wanting to do it together or share this experience, but the other person may be a little bit more reluctant. Okay, clarify Queen of Swords, please. And I do feel like you value this person's opinion, so that could be challenging. But I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick that everybody is on their own individual journey. Okay, what is aligned and meant for them will come when they're ready, when they're ready. So just because we're trying something new or coming into new information doesn't necessarily mean that the other person is ready for that. Okay. But anyways, clarify Queen of Swords. Isolation. See? Yeah. Sometimes when we're learning new things or, new interests or coming into new information that's shocking, it really shakes up our reality, shakes up who we are and things like that. Other people aren't ready for their world to be shaken up like that. So I do feel like, a blockage for you could be, accepting that whatever you're learning, whatever you're trying. And again, we started out with Knight of Pentacles. This is you nurturing your own garden. Okay. So whatever is happening, for you within the next 30 days, you may have to go about it alone. You might have to keep to yourself, or you might not be able to relate with, your current circle or things like that at this time. So that's just, a little heads up for you. Okay. Hold on a second. I do also feel like, give me one more for this Queen of Swords, please. Creativity. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to see if there was another message here, but it just kind of feels like, we weave our own web, right? We're in charge of our own, the decisions and the path that we take. And we create our own intricate design. And we ourselves are our own intricate design. We're there's no other person that is exactly the way that we are. So, with this Queen of Swords, it just kind of seems like, actually, I really like that scientist energy for you too, because just because another person says, oh, this helped me, or I didn't enjoy this, or blah, 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 really it's about trying things for yourself and having that experience for you to actually know and form your own opinion. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Here we go. Two of Cups. Okay. This is definitely, you're feeling more in tune with yourself this month. It could also allow you to connect with another person. Okay. Or something in particular. But I do feel like the Two of Cups is like, two cups coming together, right? Mirroring each other. So there could be another person on your journey that is supportive, or this could just be symbolic of you tuning into your own body and feeling more aligned with, purpose or a sense of direction or, things like that. Let's get some oracle on this Two of Cups here. Release. Okay. Got the release. What else for the Two of Cups? I do feel like with the release card, you may be able to connect with somebody who is also going through, a transformation or an awakening. For a lot of you, I feel like this is some sort of an awakening or just shift in personal habits or, things like that. But at the end of the day, you're releasing a version of you. And so it's opening up another connection for you. We do have this sunshine that's starting to peek out in the back there. Okay, let's see what else. But it's also like you're saying goodbye to a former version of you before you made these types of decisions or opened yourself up to this type of knowledge, right? Okay, clarify the Two of Cups. Last card. Happiness. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, you're feeling happy, you're feeling more fulfilled, you're feeling aligned. And you're enjoying the person that you're becoming, or what you're trying, what you're doing. It feels like it's very restorative for you. You're able to kind of create and be more, I feel like, in charge of yourself more. And what I mean by that is kind of like I don't have the magician here, but I'm getting that energy coming through of like, what am I feeling? I'm feeling somebody who, it's just there. Didn't I see Emperor? I did. Hold on. Yeah, I saw Emperor, but he didn't really say anything to me, so I didn't pick him up. But here he is. So, this is giving, like, you're really just taking steps in your own stability. So it's like stability of self and in your inner world, because we do have mindfulness. And, once you have that in your inner world, and change your inner world, the inner workings of, you had King of Swords. You have all these cards of like things going on internally with you, but like those things transfer out into your outer world. So I just see you kind of being more stable, sturdy, more in an authoritative position over your life is what I'm saying. And you're feeling very happy about that. You also have the Lovers here as well. Okay, seconding the Two of Cups. So I do feel like, there could be a sacrifice here that happens in terms of, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're cutting off a person, but it just means that, you are tuning into your own self, and having to just transfer your focus, because it could be that this person is blocking you from really reaching that Emperor status and really feeling happy about the things that you're doing and trying. Okay, so that's what I see for you. Let's give you one more card. Solitude. Badao. Okay. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. Okay. And just a reminder, I did say something with this Two of Cups about, although you may not be able to relate to this Queen of Swords, because you're just on different mental wavelengths, or, trying different things. But you do have Two of Cups here, where you may be able to relate to somebody else who is going through the same sort of releasing or shedding process that you are. Okay. So that is your reading, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck.